Hi, welcome to the part 6 of this video series. These are real certification questions. Please focus on the concepts. Please subscribe to my channel. It takes a lot of hard work to produce the analysis around answering these questions. For questions 1 to 25, please refer parts 1 through 5 of this playlist. Let's jump into the questions. So you have to perform an IO load performance test before you deploy your application to production, and the nature of application is that there is a constant IO performance required, and each instance will have one EBS store. So one EC2 will have one EBS. Now the thing is that we will have to guarantee that IO load performance testing provides accurate and reproducible results. Reproducible means if I test it today, it gives me the same result. If you test it tomorrow, it will give the same result. If someone in UK tests it after 10 days, they get the same result. It is reproducible. Whenever we see a word random cannot be an answer for accuracy. Wrong. Whenever you see the word backup or you see the word snapshot, these two words are associated with disaster. See, backup and restore. If you have a threat of losing your database, then you take backup, then you take snapshot. Does the question say that you have a threat of losing database? No, they are telling you to do load performance testing. So C is wrong and E is wrong. Okay. Option D talks about encryption. Does the question say that you have PII, personal information data, and it needs to be masked or secured? No. Why will you encrypt the EBS volume when you have to do IO testing? So D is wrong. This is the answer when we talk about pre-warm, which is also called initialization nowadays. So if you see this here, the car was performing against the woman. It's kind of load testing, and when you do that, when you, for example, in Grand Prix and etc., they warm up their cars. If you are in Chicago, lot of snowfall, and you want to go to office, you would pre-warm your car before you take it to production. That means take it to office. So it's the same way here. You would pre-warm it by reading all the blocks before you test it. That way your test results will be accurate and reproducible. This is an interesting concept called immutability on a server. You see, immutability means you cannot change. See, if you were on premises and you had 3 servers and you had to do something, you will have to provide an update on top of these 3 servers itself, because buying a server will add up your capex costs. So you went with a mutable solution. Mutable means you can change the configuration of these servers. That is mutable. Immutable means you cannot change. So on cloud AWS, you have immutable solutions. That means if I want to do something apart from these 3 servers, like I can create these servers and I can destroy these servers. So that's why it is immutable. That means I will not provide a new update on top of these servers. I will create new servers, okay, and I will kill these servers, existing servers. Like I explained, in the on-prem world, we had done necessary changes to the servers, which is immutable nature. And then if we see current solution, it uses blue-green pattern. This is the blue-green pattern, and this is an immutable infrastructure. That means you will create and destroy the cloud resources. So A is right. Now you might ask why D is not right, because D also says inability to change server counts. See, there is no inability to change server counts. Okay, it is I will not update a server, but I can change the counts. Today I have 3 servers, I kill it and create 2 servers, or I kill it and create 4 servers. So the immutability does not apply to the number of servers. It only applies that the same server, you cannot update the configuration of that server. B and C are totally wrong because they are talking against the concept. B and C are mutable solutions, not immutable. See, this is a storage problem. You want to retain data for 10 years and you want to access the current logs. So if you want to retain data for 10 years, a long time, think of Glacier because it is a long-term secure durable storage class. And if you want to access your most current logs, use your S3 storage class. Primarily, we would use S3 standard. So, which option has both Glacier and S3? Option C. See, the question is also talking about cost effectiveness. Okay, so this is a cost effective solution. As long as I am accessing my logs frequently, it is there in S3. The moment my frequency of access goes off, the lifecycle policies would archive it to Glacier and I'll save the storage cost. Now EMR cluster is a very expensive solution. It will not be cost effective because it is a big data solution, and for such small issues you don't buy Mercedes-Benz. You should use Uber. E says to use snapshots and EBS to store. It is again expensive compared to option C. If D is Mercedes-Benz, option E is Toyota Corolla. Option C is your auto rickshaw. So Toyota Corolla is still expensive than auto rickshaw. Now B, if you store everything in Glacier, yes, cost will be very less, but you can not address this requirement, most current logs, because Glacier is used when you do not want to retrieve the data so fast. That means it can take 2 to 12 hours for the data to be with you after retrieval. For current logs, you want immediate retrieval. CloudWatch logs, we only store monitoring related data. We don't store such logs in CloudWatch for long term, because CloudWatch will not help you retain for 10 years. This is the final solution. Let's look at this question. So in this question, we have a website or a web app. It is fetching data from this DynamoDB database by using API keys. We need to ensure the security of the API keys. Why? Because if this key goes in wrong hand, then this database data gets compromised. So this is a very good documentation on Web Identity Federation. It removes the need of creating individual IAM users. and it generates temporary credentials. Like you see here, it obtains temporary credentials, and then the app can use these temporary credentials to access AWS services. And this web identity federation supports Facebook, Amazon, Google. So C is correct. Okay. See, D is not correct. It is telling you to store AWS keys in global variables within your application. See, if you are using keys should be stored in where? Always remember KMS, key management system. Do not store your keys in application or global variables so that anybody can use it. Not secured. D is wrong. See, B is out of the world. It is not even addressing your database access. It is creating tags and then using access keys for whatever is there in S3 only. It is not addressing DynamoDB. So B is wrong. See, we already have identity federation so that we do not need to create any role. So A is also wrong. So let's move to the next question. See, this question. See, suppose this is your architecture and there are so many services being used. Okay. So now you want to know which service out of this is very expensive from a monthly billing standpoint, and you don't want to spend excessive development time to know this. See, since the question is about cost, I would blindly look at the options and see C is talking about cost. I'll just use C. But this is my answer. Now you might ask, why not A, B and D? So let's look at A first. See, A question is clearly saying we don't want to spend excessive development time. A is spending excessive development time. It will first create an automation script, and what the automation script will do is it will raise support tickets. See, the whole purpose of AWS usage is ease of use. So when you already have things in your control to know the cost, why will you raise support tickets? See, B is saying use custom CloudWatch metrics and put a metric data point whenever a cost is incurred. So this constantly, for any usage of these services, any of these services, constantly it will keep buzzing you. Okay, this is not the right solution. See, D is saying you use AWS Spice API. See, first of all, question is clearly saying do not spend time, excessive development time. It is clearly saying, and what you are doing, you are using API, you are performing calculation and wasting your time when you can use that time in other areas of the project. So C is the right answer. So please subscribe to my channel. I'm putting in a lot of hard work creating this analysis for you. Hit the like button if you like these videos. This brings us to the end of part 6. Please refer other playlists also on this channel. There are so many other playlists, all on cloud certifications. All have real certification questions. But like I always say, focus on the concepts. Don't bug the answers.